Hello friends, Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at some more Cyberverse figures. We are taking a look at Scout Class, Wing Slice Starscream, and Scout Class Fusion Mace Megatron. A quick size comparison with some other Transformers figures shows you that the Scout class of the new Cyberverse line is roughly the same size as a Legends class from the Titans Returns line. And here is Cyberverse Deluxe Class Shockwave here for scale line-wise for you guys. We're going to look at Starscream first. In terms of paint, the colors work very well. These are the same colors that were used on the original RID figure for Starscream, and I like the overall look. I like the head sculpt, and the paint works pretty well also. The molding is a little bit weird, and the figure does feel a bit on the thick side in the torso. There's a reason for that. We'll get into it in a second. From the back, it looks very hollow and very, very cheap, and the figure has an issue where every time you try to move one of the arms forward, it lifts up the nose cone of the chest. That's a problem, but that's part of the transformation. I use that word transformation very loosely. We'll get into that in a second. Let's take a look at Megatron next. Megatron is modeled in gray and black, and then he has paint on the crotch, his belly, and the Decepticon symbol on his chest. His head sculpt works incredibly well. I like the thuggish, brutish look that Cyberverse is going for with Megatron quite a bit. The overall aesthetic of the Megatron here works well. As I said, thuggish, brutish, very bulky. Poseability-wise, it is limited. It can only... well, it's got Super Sentai poseability. Arms move forward and back. They are also both... well, the one arm is extremely hollow. The other arm... there's a gimmick in there, and we'll talk about that in a second. Along the back, the figure does feel put together much better than Starscream does, but there are some issues, and the lack of paint is a little bit off-putting. Nothing I can't fix in terms of paint. I mean, I could do some things with the figure with like a line marker, and that would work well. I think both of them being modeled in the same tone of gray work incredibly well. I do appreciate that. In fact, the gray that these guys have on them is virtually the same as the gray that's on Shockwave. So that might be a running theme throughout all of the figures in the line on the Decepticon side. If they've got gray in them, they're all going to be the same Pantone, which I appreciate if that's the case. Okay, let's get into their gimmick. And the Scout class this time around is different. They don't have full transformations. They have half transformations. So I'll show you here on Starscream. To start off with, take the nose cone, flip it all the way up to cover the head and flip that up. Take the arms at the shoulders and fold them down into the open body and peg them into place in these nice little peg holes. Bend the knees one click, and they are kind of ratcheted and they can only move one click. And then take the entire top of the jet mode and fold it forward to get the wing slash gimmick. And that is Starscream's transformation. That's it. He literally makes a Gerwalk mode. That is the gimmick. And then to activate the gimmick, you just repeat. And it's actually hard to do because you constantly hit your fingers. No. I will give Hasbro credit. They've weighted the wings correctly so that every time you do this, the blasters point forward and the wings point back. If you did not like Starscream's transformation, quote-unquote, you're not going to like Megatron's. To start off with, put the arms forward and they will click forward one click. Take the legs, fold them forward like he's going to sit down. Grab the feet and fold the feet out along the rest of the body. And that's kind of it, except for the gimmick. Take the entire figure and twist it to the figure's right, and it will click into place. Like that. So you actually don't want to hold on to the bottom, but once you do that, then push in the left tread, and we'll kind of turn it this way. And he flips out an Energon mace. Whoop-de-doo. So we'll do that again. Turn it. It'll click in place. Squeeze the treads. and flip out the Energon Mace. These figures retail for $8 a piece, and I'm at the point where oh boy. Each one of these figures retails for $8 a piece. I ended up paying more to get them online, and I picked them up over at Toy Wiz through Amazon, so they were even more expensive. And I don't think these things are worth the money. They if they were $2, actually, yeah, $2. I would pay $2 to $3 for these. They don't feel poorly constructed. They're actually pretty solid. I will say these two figures do feel like they are meant to be played with by small children. They feel like they are meant to be abused, even though some of the pieces don't feel totally all there, if you know what I mean. My biggest problem with these are they're not Transformers. By the very definition, these are not Transformers. These are robot figures with action gimmicks. So yes, they are action figures, but they are not Transformers. Transformers, in and of themselves, transform from one form to another. These don't do that. So they can't be called Transformers. Heck, I've seen Gundams and other mobile suits with better transformations than these things. So folks, I'm going to recommend that you pass on the Scouts. I'm probably going to pass on the Scout Bumblebee and the Scout Grimlock when I see them. I really don't want any more of these. I don't like these. And you know what? My son doesn't either. He's 4. He doesn't like them. So yeah, I wouldn't get these. That's the long and short of it. So everybody, let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit the stupid bell. You know the drill. Thank you for watching. I'm Baltmatrix, and I'm going to go play with some better toys.